Hello, everyone. I'm glad to meet you here today in our annual celebration in love and appreciation for our beloved GIS or Geographic Information System. Today, you are going to discuss BIM-GIS integration for city information management. My name is Hisham Gamal Gafar. I'm leading the EEC or Architecture, Engineering and Construction Solutions in Quality Standards for Information Technology or QSIT. QSIT is located in Cairo, Egypt, and it is established in 1994, and it is a golden partner for both Esri and Autodesk. Our agenda for today is what are the challenges for the city information management in the current days. Then we will discuss the digital twin solution for city information management. Then we can discuss intermediate level information. It's not so technical and not so high level that can look like a fantasy advertisement. So we will talk about solution tiers to have insights about how can we develop our own digital twin solution, and then some showcases and some technology enablers to get more insights about the proposed solution. The current challenges are multiple data sources. We have survey points, we have GIS data, we have design data and BIM data, CAD data. We have infrastructure, utilities, transportation and roads. We have buildings and superstructure. We have different types of buildings. We have facility management data, cost and the project planning data like time. We have multiple data sources for maybe one city or one asset, and it can be conflicted with each other. The other challenge is decision-making time. When we have the as-built or the data that represent the actual city assets, whenever an incident happens, it takes a long time to take an action. That's the other challenge that we need to solve. And the final thing is the facility management difficulty, because we have a lot of data and also very complex assets and facilities. Our proposed solution is the digital twin. The digital twin is having a digital copy for our physical asset or our physical entity that have a connection with the physical entity to have rapid updates. Maybe we can at some point arrive for the level of real-time updates. Whenever something happens in the real world, you receive a notification or a pop-up or an alert that there is an update in the real world entity. That will help in providing a rapid action, a rapid analysis to solve the problem if there is a problem. To achieve that, we have some technology enablers, which are the found two foundation technologies we are talking about. Of course, first one is the GIS or Geographic Information System that help us in answering the question of where, that help us answering the question that of where is the best location for whatever I need to build, whatever it's in the AEC sector or whatever the sector we are working in. So the GIS help in the project life cycle in the planning phase that provides the context that we are working in, the geographic context, the layout of the project. Also, it helps in the operation phase to have an accurate location for the elements or the facilities we manage. To increase the level of details of the graphical representation and the non-graphical data, we need the assistance of BIM or Building Information Modeling. The Building Information Modeling mostly focus on the design phase and the build or the construction phase. It has its predefined elements with including the properties, can be materials, can be time or cost. Also, it provides the power of collaboration that you can create one aggregate model for all asset disciplines like electrical, structure, architecture, mechanical, plumbing in one aggregate model that can help in avoiding problems in the execution phase. So you have a simulation before the execution to know what are the potential problems that can happen, and you can change to make some changes in the design to avoid this, or to solve the clashes before you go to the next phase. So now we have a high level of detailed model, including the spatial intelligence from the GIS and the engineering details from the BIM to have a full control or to have, maybe we can say, a GeoBIM model or a city information model that contains every feature or every element we need to manage. The third party technology we need here for the city information management solution is IoT. IoT, or Internet of Things, it's a solution to make everything or every facility, every physical element in the real world connected to the internet. So if you go to work and you forget to buy milk, so your fridge will send you an SMS or a notification on your mobile, please buy milk because your milk is about to be finished. So that is simply what can IoT do. It has sensors that can get the information of a certain type of data or information, like a sensor for the amount of milk that was in the fridge, or a sensor for heat, a sensor for crowd, a sensor for pollution, a sensor for fire, a sensor for wind speed. Whatever the feed you are collecting, you have to or we need to connect with this sensor through internet or through intranet, whatever the network we are using, to get a real-time information about what is happening in the physical element on the real world. So now we have GIS, BIM to have a high level of details city information model, and also for the updates that we need, the real-time updates that we need is IoT. Of course, we can depend on another type of technology like PLCs in the SCADA systems or the industrial information, the industrial Internet of Things. We can use mobile devices or tablets. We will talk more about this in the digital twin tiers. So the digital twin solution is a digital mirror of physical world, which means that we have the information that is a composition of the data and the context of the data. Also, we need a strong visualization for readability, to have a clearer way to the actual element that is in the real world. So the digital twin solution can be applied on a different scales, can be applied starting from a furniture or a room or even an equipment like a CCTV camera. And we can of course increase the scale to buildings, campus, and of course a city, which we are talking about today. So the digital twin solution is about creating a digital copy, a digital mirror, a digital copy that is mirroring to the real world entity. So we need data and updates, and of course the faster the updates is, the more efficient the solution gets. So the facility management is about taking, of course, the traditional inspections and also taking an action fast. So an incident happens, you need to do your analysis to decide what is the best action to solve the problem. Then in the last or finally, you export a report for what happened, whatever it's solved or it is not, to make it like a damage control. So this process can be very effective if it was rapid and the analysis and the action was fast, and of course it will be faster if you can have an accurate information in the fastest way. So you need the IoT sensors, you need the mobile devices, you need all the ways to get an information without the traditional way of getting in the site and then getting to the office to think and do your analysis to take an action. You need a more connected way to solve the problem in a fast way, even if you are in another country and the problem is far away. So some insights, some intermediate level information about how can we develop our digital twin tiers. Of course, when we're talking about the digital twin, we are talking about the concept. As example, we in QSIT, we don't provide IoT sensors, for example, but we enable the solution of using BIM and GIS to build a city information model, and we create a system that is ready for the real-time communication with the IoT sensors or the PLCs. So it has multiple tiers. First tier is the BIM and GIS, as we talked before, and also the traditional relational database management system, whatever or the tabular data like SQL tables, like maybe Oracle databases, Microsoft SQL databases, or Access, or whatever. The data acquisition tier or the data gathering tier, it can be a smart guy with a smartphone or a tablet that is in the site that he can collect or do the data acquisition, and the decision maker in the office have the information in a fast way without needing to to get this data in maybe paperwork and get it to the office to start working on it. Whenever the smart guy collects it, the guy in the office have all the insights or the information. Also the PLCs, which is or the sensors, which are the hardware that collects a different type of feeds, depends on the need on the project, which can collect the data in real time without any human interaction, without any human interaction. So now we are ready for the data manipulation tier. Now we have the data tier, the updates tier, or the data acquisition tier, which is now fast. Now we can use or manipulate the data. We can visualize it, we can analyze it, we can do some predictions like using machine learning algorithms for predictive maintenance. When should I replace a certain item, or when should I maintain a certain item? That's the digital twin tiers. How can you build a digital twin solution? So the fastest you respond to an incident, you reduce the amount of resources losing or wasting resources. So when we reduce the time or the response time, we reduce the water wasting. Maybe if we are talking about oil or whatever the resource we are talking about. Here is an example, city information management dashboard developed in-house. Here we have the BIM in GIS context. We have the GIS base map, and on top of it, a building. Of course, if the city is just a larger or it has multiple buildings, just to show how can we use the BIM-GIS integration for city information management. So we have the building, the BIM model as it is in the BIM environment. We can do whatever manipulation we need. We can show some levels, some types of elements, some disciplines, some elements that is a part of a certain discipline. We have a full access for the information of all the data. As we see here, we can click on whatever element on the model. It's also connected to a task or a workforce management application. You can assign some tasks for the field worker, and he will get a notification on his mobile. Of course, we have here a dashboard including the building data, and of course also the workforce data, because we were talking about facility management process. Here is the view that the field worker can see from his mobile device. He will receive a notification that he has an inspection task. He will have a digital form to do his inspection, and whenever he finishes his inspection and click finish, you will receive an update. So here's a task reduced to 2 instead of 3, and here in the last part we have the IoT sensors stream in real time that reflects in our dashboard. Here is a fire alarm in a certain room. Here is a full example for the how can the digital twin be effective using the GIS BIM integration with IoT sensors and mobile devices to achieve the digital twin for city information management. Here's this picture from a port of Rotterdam. The port, as we all know, is a city inside a city. It has all the type of utilities, type of buildings. They said that they need to develop a 4-dimensional model for the city or the port. So it's X, Y, and Z, and also the time. Here they describe the time as the real-time communication, the historical data, and the historical data and real-time updates will help us to make to use the machine learning algorithm to make predictions for better city information management. Okay, now we will get deeper about how can we build our city information model to be ready for city information management. Here's a case study about creating an aggregate model for 9 types of utilities in Egypt, in a new area in Egypt. It has wet utilities like water and sewer. It has a firefighting network and 5 types of electrical networks. So it has all of these types of networks in just one place, utilizing the power of location in GIS and the power of engineering in the BIM. We have a high level of details model, and of course it is ready to add any types of buildings in the surface as we see here, and it helps us to make the coordination and clash detection before we move to the next phase of construction. Here, another way to develop a city information model for the management purpose. We can, if we don't need to go indoor or to have a high level of details, we can use the 3D GIS capabilities. Here we have a demo for a certain area in Neom City that contains footprint that is extracted to its height, and of course landscape data and all the data we need. This can be used if we don't need this high level of details that we can provide using the BIM-GIS integration. Here is another way to utilize the solution. We can make a 4D and 5D simulation, which is linking the model with the time, the project management data like time and cost, and we can see here that the time and the cost is increasing according to the date of the simulation. So we have one model that contains all type of disciplines, mechanical, plumbing, architecture, structure in one place to make a simulation for the real building, and it is intelligent enough to detect the potential clashes, and we can solve it before we go to the next phase. And of course, it can help us to provide an as-built model ready for facility management. Of course, we can utilize the we all have heard about metaverse and Facebook, a new thing. We can use the VR, virtual reality, and augmented reality. The virtual reality is about going in a virtual tour inside the building, to or outside the building, whatever. It's a full graphical generated environment to take an experience before implementation, or even if you want to have some insights and if you are far away from the project. Also, we can utilize the AR for creating a digital maquettes, or even in defining the place of the underground utilities without needing for excavation. And of course, the using of the spatial intelligence to have in the pre-construction studies to have soil indicators about the unsampled areas. We can create a soil profiles by just one click. Of course, if you have if you have worked with geotechnical data, you will know that this step is taking, or it takes a long time. Just by one click, you can create a soil profile, 3D soil profile, and of course you can get some indicators about the floods, streamlines, and the places that can collect water in the case of raining or floods. So our solution is about combining the spatial intelligence and the building information modeling to have all of these types of data in one place: the infrastructure, the buildings, the landscape, and utilize the real-time data acquisition using mobile devices or IoT sensors. And of course, linking the data with the security cameras, and of course the workforce and your inspections, because of course you will go to facility management scenarios. I have a lot of articles and posts about the GIS and BIM integration for different type of sectors. You can visit my profile here on LinkedIn, Hisham Gamal Gafar. You can read about the integration and different technology solutions for the architecture and the engineering sector. Thank you so much for being here, celebrating our appreciation for our beloved technology, GIS. I hope to see you soon.